If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there.
I mean, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures. And look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she...
The morning the scandal broke started like any other, coffee in hand, scrolling through the news. But then, something caught my eye. Sunny Hostin's name, though not for her fiery takes on *The View star. This time, it was about her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon. His practice, Host Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, was thrust into a storm of controversy. The accusations? Insurance fraud, kickbacks, and being tied to a massive RICO lawsuit with 180 defendants. And trust me, this is no small case. It's a blockbuster. But before we dive into all the legal drama, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss any of the juicy plot twists in this Hollywood-sized scandal. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
The RICO Act, originally created to take down organized crime, think mobsters and gangsters, is now being used in an unexpected way. Instead of the mafia, it's doctors, surgeons, and medical practices in the hot seat. The courtroom drama feels less like Goodfellas and more like Grey's Anatomy but with fraud on the side. The lawsuit claims that Dr. Hostin and others ran a scheme to exploit the healthcare system. They allegedly received kickbacks for performing unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for procedures that may never have even taken place. Imagine this: patients going under the knife, insurance companies picking up the bill, and money changing hands like it's a high-stakes poker game in the hospital.
I want a citizen that has a policy. I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners. He's got $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation? How about removing some of the podcasts that disseminate this misinformation?
They have.
And that's
Here's where it gets juicy. The lawsuit specifically accuses Dr. Hostin of taking financial incentives for recommending or performing arthroscopic surgeries, those seemingly harmless, minimally invasive joint procedures. At first glance, these surgeries appear legitimate, but the lawsuit claims some were completely unnecessary. Were these patients genuinely in need of knee or shoulder surgeries, or was it all about the money? If the allegations hold up, this could be one of the most shocking betrayals, making soap opera scandals look tame. Imagine trusting your doctor, only to find out you were nothing more than a pawn in a financial game. That kind of betrayal hurts, literally.
It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said, this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the...
But here's the twist. On the other side is American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, the plaintiff, claiming they've been duped out of millions. They allege they were billed for surgeries that never took place or weren't necessary, like paying for a steak and getting tofu instead. But let's be real, insurance companies don't have clean hands either. They've been accused of underpaying doctors, denying claims, and exploiting every loophole to avoid paying up. So the big question is ATIC really trying to expose a massive healthcare scam, Or is this just a desperate move by a company on the brink of bankruptcy, looking for someone to blame?
To a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft.
Attorney Daniel Thwaites didn't hold back in his defense, slamming the lawsuit as a desperate move by addicts trying to recover their losses. He called it a last-ditch effort from a company on the brink of collapse, shifting the focus onto the accusers and painting them as the real villains, a classic courtroom tactic to turn the tables. The tension in the courtroom is only heating up. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan stepped into the ring, taking aim at *The View star. On his podcast, he blasted the show for what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. Rogan reminded everyone that Sunny Hostin had once slandered others while likely being aware of her husband's questionable dealings. He didn't stop there, roasting the show as plain stupid and quipping that if you average the IQs of the hosts, you might struggle to reach triple digits. The media critic certainly didn't hold back, keeping the drama alive and well.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies-infested henhouse.
It may seem harsh, but fans are clearly eating up the drama. While Dr. Hostin battles for his reputation in court, his wife Sunny has been eerily quiet. Typically, she's the one addressing controversy head-on *The View*, but when it comes to her husband's scandal, there's been nothing. Why the silence? Is she standing by him, distancing herself, or simply waiting for legal advice on what to say? Fans are buzzing, with some speculating that she's protecting her image, while others believe she's staying quiet to avoid becoming the next target. Either way, her silence speaks volumes. And here's the twist: Dr. Hostin isn't the only one facing trouble. He's one of 180 defendants in this lawsuit, including doctors, medical practices, and even hospitals. If the allegations are true, this could turn into one of the biggest medical fraud cases in history, an entire network exploiting loopholes in the healthcare system for millions.
Her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay, now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this. About
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Thwaites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread.
It's like something straight out of a heist movie. Only instead of robbing banks, these criminals are swiping insurance premiums. At the heart of this scandal is a bigger, troubling question. How much trust do we really have in our healthcare system when money seems to outweigh patient care? When doctors and insurance companies care more about profits than people, trust starts to crumble. Patients should feel safe walking into a doctor's office, not like they're stepping into a financial trap. And let's not forget, if ACT is using this lawsuit as a cover-up for their own financial problems, they are only adding fuel to the fire. This whole situation is a tangled mess, and untangling it won't be easy. As of now, Dr. Hostin hasn't been found guilty. These are just allegations. But make no mistake, the court battle is shaping up to be a spectacle. Both sides are gearing up to throw everything they've got at each other. For now, all we can do is sit back, watch, and try to separate fact from fiction. Whether Dr. Hostin is guilty or innocent, this case is already casting a harsh spotlight on some uncomfortable truths within the healthcare and insurance industries. So buckle up, this scandal is far from over. With every twist and turn, we'll be right here with popcorn in hand, watching it all unfold like the courtroom drama it's becoming. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a beat.
I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.